Apostle of Fire, the man who fanned the flame of revival in Africa. What if I told you that a man once walked this earth, a man whose prayers could summon fire from heaven, whose voice sent demons fleeing into the abyss, and whose very presence made rivers obey, a man who disappeared before the eyes of his enemies, only to reappear miles away preaching the gospel? This is the chilling, powerful, and supernatural story of Apostle Joseph Ayodele Babalola, Africa's apostle of fire, the man who turned villages upside down with the raw power of God. But how did he become a terror to the kingdom of darkness? And what mysterious encounters marked his extraordinary ministry? Stay with me until the end, because this story will shake your faith to its core and leave you questioning the limits of what prayer can do. The calling that changed everything. In 1928, deep in Nigeria's southwest region, Babalola was an ordinary man working for the Public Works Department, until one fateful day, when everything changed. A voice, mighty, unmistakable, and divine, called out to him, "Leave your job and preach the gospel." No hesitation, no second thoughts. He abandoned his career and stepped into the unknown, into a destiny that would shake the very foundation of Africa's spiritual landscape. But his calling didn't come without supernatural tools. During an intense period of fasting and prayer, an angelic being appeared, handing him two mysterious items, a prayer bell and a bottle of water. The bell, it would send demons running. The water, it would heal the sick, and from that moment on, the world would never be the same. The tree that would not fall, until he prayed. A village called Usi Ekiti was tormented by a cursed tree, one inhabited by spirits, impossible to cut down. No axe, no fire, no force could bring it down. Until Babalola arrived. He walked up to the tree, lifted his prayer bell, and rang it. A deep, resounding chime echoed through the land. He prayed. Then, in an instant, crack! The tree split in two and collapsed to the ground. The villagers fell to their knees in shock. Darkness had lost again, the deity that was dethroned. In Ifira, an idol called Egul had kept the people bound in fear for centuries. Guarded by a monstrous python, no one dared go near it. But Babalola, he climbed the sacred hill, rang his bell, and declared war on the unseen forces. The python, it fled in terror. The idol's sacred pot shattered into pieces. The people, they abandoned idol worship and turned to Christ. One man, one prayer, and an entire village was set free. The night fire fell from heaven. By 1931, his fame had spread, and enemies rose against him. In Ifon Alai, a powerful occult priest declared war against Babalola. He was known to summon spirits, control men, and cast deadly spells. But he had never faced a man like Babalola. During a 7-day revival, the priest mocked him. "Your prayers cannot touch me." Babalola lifted his prayer bell and cried, "If I am sent by the living God, let fire fall." Lightning slashed the sky. The priest's shrine ignited in flames. The terrified man dropped to his knees, shaking. He surrendered his life to Christ, the river that bowed before a prayer warrior. In Ikire, Osun State, the Ariran River was feared for its dark secrets. A spirit within it demanded sacrifices, dragging the innocent into its depths. No one could stop it until Babalola arrived. He walked to the riverbank, knelt down, and prayed. Suddenly, the river boiled violently, bubbling with unseen forces. The waters turned blood red. A spine-chilling scream echoed as the spirit was banished forever. From that day forward, no one ever drowned there again. The man who disappeared before his enemies. Babalola's power wasn't just in prayers, it was in divine protection. One night, assassins lay in wait, plotting to kill him. As he walked through the forest, they surrounded him with weapons drawn, but in the blink of an eye, he vanished. The assassins, stunned, searched everywhere. He was gone. Miles away, he was seen preaching in another village at the exact same time. Even colonial officers couldn't capture him. They stormed a house to arrest him, but he was nowhere to be found. That same night, he was leading a crusade in a different town. Was he transported like Philip in Acts 8? Or had angels hidden him? One thing was clear: no enemy could touch him. The dead who came back to life. In one village, a dead child was placed in his hands. Babalola prayed, his voice trembling with divine power. Minutes passed, then hours, then suddenly, a gasp. The child's eyes flickered open. The dead lived again. In another town, a man who had been dead for 3 days was brought to him. The body had begun to decay. The stench of death filled the air. Babalola prayed. The crowd held their breath. Then, the impossible happened. The corpse twitched, then sat up. Screams filled the night. The news spread like wildfire. People abandoned idols and turned to Jesus. What if? What if the supernatural is closer than we think? What if divine encounters still happen today, but we simply don't seek them with enough fervency? Apostle Joseph Ayodele Babalola proved that prayer is power, that when a man dares to call upon heaven, miracles become normal. And now I ask you, could God be waiting for you to step into a life of radical faith? Have you ever witnessed a prayer so powerful that it defied explanation? A moment where heaven felt closer than ever? Tell me in the comments below. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing, true supernatural encounters here on Legacy of the Mighty. Until next time, stay on fire.